Okay, we're doing Module 3, Systems of Equations and Inequality, A.REI.12, Level 1 Reteach. So just as a quick reminder, whenever we graph equations or inequalities, we want to have it in y equals mx plus b. So taking a first look at our first inequality, I notice that the y is not by itself, so I'm going to need to get it into the slope-intercept form. So I'm going to subtract the 4x, and then I'm going to divide by a -1. Now keep in mind, whenever you divide by a -1, you have to change a negative number, you have to change the inequality sign. So instead of greater than, it is now less than. M is always the number in front of in front of x, and that's my slope, and in this case it's 4, and b is -2. I'm going to start at a -2, always on my y. From that dot, I need to go up 4 lines and go to my right one, and then I'm going to do it again and again. And then I go back to that orange and I go down 4 and always and to my left. I know that this is a dashed line because it's less than, so I'm just going to kind of fill in my little dots. And I'm going to put my arrows to show that it goes on forever. My favorite testing point is 0, 0. That's this point right here in the red. So I want to see if this one goes in. I'm going to put that in for x and y. So is 0 less than -2? That's a false statement. So that means I can't cover the red dot. I'm going to go on the opposite side. So then the next thing I need to do is determine if 3, 4 is a solution. So I'm going to go here, 3 and 4. By looking at the graph, I can tell it's a solution, but sometimes I may not have that opportunity. So I can tell you right now, it's yes, the point falls on the in the shaded region. But sometimes I may not have that opportunity. So I'm going to plug in the numbers. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to go 4 is less than 4 times 3 minus 2. So 4 is less than 12 minus 2. And 4 is less than 10. And that is a true statement. So that is also a reason why I'm going to be shading that side. Taking a look at the next one, I'm going to look at here and I see that it is 1 and 2, which is right here. So it's right on the dashed line. Well, I know from what the rules is that dashed lines are never part of the answer, so I know it's not, and I can say falls on dashed line. But I can also check it. And by checking it is I plug in the number. So 2 is less than 4 times 1 minus 2. So 2 is less than 4 minus 2, or 2 is less than 2. Well, if it was less than or equal to, then it would be true. But since it's just less than, it's false. And that's why it's a no. Taking a look at the next one, we need to get y by itself. So I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides. And I'm going to get 2y is greater than or equal to -6x plus 4. I'm going to divide by 2. And I'm going to get y is greater than or equal to -3x plus 2. Now you notice on this one I did not change the inequality sign because I multiplied by a positive number. M is the number in front of x, and b is the number by itself, and my m is -3 and my b is 2. For me, I always like to circle where I start. I always start on the y. Intercept, this time it's negative, so I'm going to go down 3 and to my right 1, and I'm going to continue going down and to my right. After I go to my right, I go back to that orange dot, and then I go up until my left 3. Now this time I see that it's greater than or equal to, so that tells me I need to have a solid line. My still all-time favorite point is the 0, 0. That's my favorite point. So I'm going to put 0 is greater than or equal to 2. Is that true? No, 2 is bigger. So obviously we have to shade the opposite side. So I'm going to shade over here above the line. Taking a look at the last one, I am going to subtract my 7x to both sides. So I'm going to get negative 7x plus 9 is greater than or equal to negative 2y. I'm going to divide by a negative. Dividing by a negative, change your inequality sign. So that's going to tell me I'm going to get 7 over 2, two negatives make a positive, to x minus 9 over 2, and I'm going to change it to less than or equal to y. Now for me, for graphing purposes, I like to have my y on the left side, so I'm going to rewrite it. So with that in mind, still making sure that it's the same sign. Now taking a look here, you notice that the opening was to the y, the opening is going to the y here. So I know I did it correctly. So I know m is 7 over 2. And b, for me to graph, it's a lot easier if I put it into a mixed numbers, which is negative 4.5. So that way I can graph it easier on the graph. We know we start on the y-intercept, so it's going to be between 4 and 5. And I'm going to go up 7 lines. So I'm going to go up. And I'm going to go over 2. And then I'm going to go up again and over 2. And then I'm going to go down and over 2. And I have to go outside the graph. Again, did I see that it's greater than or equal to? So I am just going to make a solid line. Still, my favorite point is 0, 0. So I'm going to use 0, 0. And is 0 greater than or equal to negative 4.5? That is a true statement. So therefore, I'm going to be shading over the 0, 0. And we are done. Thanks for listening and have a great day.